Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Pick Up the Truth. How y'all doing tonight? I hope you're well and staying true to your natural self. Now, we're going to finish up a little bit with Genesis 3, where we left off when we did the other video. And we're going to see what this program God did to Adam and Eve after they ate from the tree of good and evil. Let's see. Now, the program God starts off with scolding Adam for eating from the tree. So he says, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" And the man said, Adam said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it." So right away the woman's first instinct, or Adam's first instinct, was to blame the woman. Now, if I know anything about nature and a natural reaction from a man towards a woman, especially the only woman you have to choose from, supposedly, you're not going to want to try to fuck up your relationship with her and blame her for something that she was at fault for. Especially when it could possibly get her taken away from you. That's your companion. There should be some kind of, natural protection for your companion, but there is none here. And Adam just goes and flat out blames his supposed companion, Eve, for her misdeeds. Just tells the one that created him, yeah, no problem. She did it. She made me do it. So, okay. Then the program God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" And Eve said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." Now, if you're a woman, just say you're the first woman that was created, okay? And you're just the same as you are right now, except for your knowledge is very limited. And you're talking to the one that created you. Now, she says, "The serpent deceived me." Now, how did it deceive her? She doesn't explain that it talked to her. Okay? Talked to her with words that she understood and convinced her to eat from the tree. And neither did this God ask Eve how it deceived her. So I question this altogether, So the Lord God said to the serpent, okay, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and you will eat dust all the days of your life." Okay. Number one, let's look at the serpent. Okay? The serpent already crawls on its belly. That's what it does. It's a snake. Okay? It's going to eat dust all its life regardless. How are you going to curse it? And why would you curse something you created? We know animals don't understand language, and we know at this point there should not be any language at all. Okay? And even if you believed in the Satan they program you to believe in, and you believe that it came into the serpent and caused the serpent to communicate with Eve in a language that Eve did not even know at the time. Okay? You have to get past all of that to come to this. And this is supposed to be truth in a book of truth. I don't think so. This is why the Bible blows my mind. And it should blow yours as well. And you should look at it for the deception that it was printed to be. It's fairy tales. Okay, there's no talking serpent. And if you're the first woman created, you're not going to understand or even know a language at this time. So, now, this God supposedly cursed the women by making them have pains in childbearing, which is very severe. Now, by the time they wrote this Bible, they knew that women had childbearing pains that were very severe. So, putting it in this book and claiming it to be true, that's not truth. That's just stating the obvious of what already exists. Alright? And let's see what else this God tells the first woman created. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. Now, this looks like a rule made up by men. I don't know. It could be made up by the transgendered women who rule the world as well. Who knows? But somebody that created this book wanted men to rule over women. And it wasn't our true creator. Okay? This book is written by men. Alright? And to Adam he said, because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it. Well, that's what it was created for, right? And this program, God said, cursed is the ground. Well, you created the ground. And how's it going to be cursed? Because anything that's cursed cannot produce anything good. But we see the ground producing goodness that sustains life for all of creation on this earth. So we know this is bullshit right off the bat. It will produce thorns and thistles for you. Okay. And you will eat the plants of the field, which we're supposed to do anyway. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. Okay. Another insinuation that this program God made man from dirt. It's all bullshit, guys. This is fairy tale fantastic crap. I don't know how we believe this as rational thinking humans. Now, Adam named his wife Eve, and I don't know how it was possible to do that without any way of learning language or even writing language or recording language. I don't know. You tell me. Because she would become the mother of all living. Yeah. So, not only did Adam know how to create the language, he knew the specific meanings of them as well. So that's why he named his wife Eve. And I'm sorry, how can the first two created men and women be husband and wife? Because there is no institution of marriage. It doesn't exist. Okay, this is crazy. Now, it says their program God made garments of skin. From what? I don't know. It doesn't say. And why would the God that created the skin from the animals it created destroy the animals just to clothe the creation of the people that he created, or it created? It's not making any sense here, guys. You know, they program us all our lives to tell us that this God they get us to believe in doesn't make mistakes, but you see mistakes made all the time throughout Scripture. And if you question it, they'll slap you down every time. Or make something up that's more fantastic for you to believe in. Now, the man has now become like one of us. Like one of us? Who? Like one of us. Knowing good and evil. Now, this program God is complaining that now man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. So, I'm sorry, if this God didn't want man to become like one of them, an all-knowing, almighty, creator God, then why did you fucking put the tree to where they can get a hold of it, dipshit? I'm not understanding that. You're supposed to be a smart God. One that's capable of creating all these fantastic things. But you put the tree of good and evil right in the grasp of the people you did not want to have it. Was that smart? Not so much. Okay. Let's continue. I'll tell you, man, if Satan really did exist, I bet you he had fun with that one. Because God doesn't seem too bright to me. Alright. We got Genesis 4. Cain and Abel. For your program, Cannibal. They always wanted to program men to eat other men, didn't they? I guess that's why they came up with this chapter in the Bible. Adam made love to his wife Eve, and she became pregnant. Now, it says she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. But it doesn't explain any of the struggles that they had during the pregnancy or any of the struggles that they had during childbirth or any of that, right? I mean, can you imagine the first child being born and all the complications and whatnot that come along with that, especially when you have nothing to help you birth that baby or understand what's happening to you, you know? For both of them, they don't know where the baby's coming out. I mean, it's hard to believe that the baby would come out of that little hole in a woman. How would they know? Okay. It's just too much for us to believe with this stuff. Now, we know in nature they figured it out some way, but, you know, because we're here. But it doesn't explain any of those things. Any of the curious, natural things we would want and expect to have answers for. We don't have. You know, legitimate, truthful questions and answers. We just get these fairy tale stories that we're expected to believe as grown adults. I'm sorry, grown humans. All right. Now, she said, with the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man. Okay, with the help of God, they brought forth the first man born, you know, from a woman on earth, supposedly. How God helped her give birth and all that, I have no idea. And later, she supposedly gave birth to his brother Abel. Okay. Now, here's where the fuckery starts, and they start building a life on the earth building a life of these people that didn't really exist on the earth, and just programmed in our minds to believe. So now Abel kept flocks and Cain worked the soil. It doesn't say what Cain worked the soil with or how he was able to get the knowledge to be able to work the soil. Where did all that come from? In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to God. Now, here you have a man that was created by the Creator, bringing the Creator some fruits that was created by the Creator as an offering. Why? The Creator made these things for him, not for God. God has no use for these. Okay? It's a source of food for this man. Why is he bringing it to God as an offering? An offering for what? It's bullshit. Okay. And Abel, the other man, his brother, also brought an offering of some of the firstborn of his flock. Okay? It says fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. So it used to just say burnt offerings. I guess that comes later, where they burn the offerings of the animals that God created. Or, okay? This program, God created these animals. And somehow he wants them back dead as an offering and burnt. I don't see that happening. I mean, really, if you were to offer the creator of animals and the creator of everything, an animal that it created but is no longer alive and also burnt, wouldn't you think that that creator would be more offended? Okay. There's no... This is sick behavior that they're asking us to believe. And it says it's trying to make us believe that this God looked with favor on these two siblings with, well, no, it looked with favor on Abel for his offering, okay? For his offering of the burnt dead animal that this supposed God created. He loved that one over the natural fruits that the other brother was giving him. Both offerings are bullshit because it's creation that was created by the creator. Why are you offering him that shit anyway? He can have that all day long, created, wherever he's at. On the side, put it on the side, do whatever. This is ridiculous. But on Cain and his offering, he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Alright, this is ridiculous, and we've already went into why it's ridiculous. Then the program God said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast?" "Well, I don't understand why you like the fucking present from my brother when he killed one of your animals and burnt the motherfucker and gave it to you. That's why. It don't make any fucking sense to me." Does it make sense to you? I don't know. Okay. If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. If you do what is right, how's this man supposed to do what is right? There's no right or wrong established. There's no language established. How are these people communicating with this God without language anyway? I don't get it. But if you do, let's see, I guess this is God saying this, but if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. Now, we all know that sin doesn't exist, okay? Sin is how they manifest, is the bad ways they manifest for us to live in the system they created for us. You understand what I'm saying? Sin is caused by all the bad ways they program our minds to be from birth. And they implement sin through the systems that they program us to live in and live by. If you can understand that. And you know what I'm talking about. Now, sin desires to have you, but you must rule over it. Now, they're talking like sin is alive, and this is your creator telling you that this fantastical sin is alive. You have no idea what the fuck it is, but it's crouching at your door, and it desires to have you, but you must rule over it. Now, the creator tells this to Cain, and Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." Now, if the one that created you and created humanity told you that sin is crouching at your door and it desires to have you, but you must rule over it, would you turn to your brother and say, let's go out to the field? Or would you ask the creator of humanity, what is this sin? What does it look like? What does it mean? None of that happens here. This dumbass turns to his brother and says, let's go out to the field. While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Well, that sounds like a plan. There's only 4 people on the earth. Why not kill one? He's your brother. You grew up with him. It makes sense. Then the program God said to Cain, where is your brother Abel? I don't know, he replied. I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Now, do you honestly think that Cain would talk back to the God that created the earth, the God that created humanity, the God that created the animals and the humans that live? Do you think if that God asked you a question, you would reply, am I my brother's keeper? If you knew how to reply at all with any language, would you be a program smartass that doesn't know what a program smartass is? Wouldn't have any idea how to know how to be a program smartass? This Bible, how did we ever believe this nonsense coming out of this shit? I have no idea. And the program God said, what have you done? Like this God has no power to see what happens on the earth that it created. Listen, the God cried, your brother's blood cries out to me. Now, if that was the case, then why were you so persistent in asking this one what it did with its brother? You should know already. The blood cries out to me from the ground, this program God said. Now you are under a curse, and driven from the ground which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. So, now, this God says, your brother's blood cries out to me. More blood worship from these people that love our blood. Now you are under a curse. This God loves to curse. Okay? It's cursed the ground already. It's cursed the animal that it cursed the serpent, and the serpent wasn't even at fault. The animal, the serpent, was just created by the Creator, and supposedly Satan took over the serpent, made the serpent do what it did, but the programmed God that knows all blames the serpent and supposedly curses the serpent and curses the ground that it created for no reason whatsoever. The ground or the animals have no idea how to speak the languages that men know how to speak. And the God understands, because it created the ground and the animals, that they do not and are not capable of understanding the languages. Why would it curse the animals and the ground? Makes no sense. Okay. But this is truth, right? This book they wrote for our minds is supposed truth. So it also curses the last remaining brother of Adam and Eve, the last remaining son of Adam and Eve. They lost their other son because this one killed him. Now the program God bans him to be a restless wanderer on the earth that was created for him. Whatever that means. That's the punishment. Cain said to the God, "My punishment is more than I can bear." Oh yeah? Just to be free and a restless wanderer on the earth that was created for you? That's too much punishment for you. It's more than I can bear. Can you tell me why? Well, he says, "Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." Who's going to find you, dipshit? You just killed your brother. You, your brother, your mom, and your dad were the only motherfuckers on the earth, and you killed one of them. And you're kicked out. So who's going to come and get you? The only one left is your mom and dad? Okay. And you're worried about them killing you. But the God said to him, "Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." Masonic 7. Then the God put a mark on Cain, so that no one will find him. Oh, so that no one who found him would kill him. Okay. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod. Whatever the fuck that is. I don't know. East of Eden. Like they knew east, west, north, and south. Yeah, I told you they already had the basis of the map created, even though language didn't exist. Cain made love to his wife. And where did his wife come from? Okay, alright. Look, Adam and Eve. Did I miss something here? Adam and Eve gave birth and had these 2 boys. Where did this woman that Cain's having sex with come from? I missed that part. Whoa. Women just popping out of the ground now. Wait a minute. We'll go back to where Adam and Eve were making love. Maybe I missed a part. Became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. Brought forth a man. She gave birth to his brother Abel. That's all. Now Abel keeps flocks. Cain worked the field. Nothing. Alright. While all this was happening, was Adam and Eve having sex some more and popping out more babies? I don't know. It didn't say. where this woman that Cain had sex with came from. But that's odd, isn't it? Just a woman comes out of nowhere and has sex with you. Alright. Every man's dream. Happened to Cain, though. Alright. See if I can find my spot. Alright. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant. Where that his wife came from, I have no fucking idea. We went back and looked for her, but we couldn't find her. But here she is. Gave birth to Enoch. Oh, that's where this Enoch comes from, alright? The book of Enoch. That already tells me, okay, this bitch came from nowhere. Fuck Cain and made Enoch. Alright. Now you know the book of Enoch is bullshit. Don't bother reading it. I don't even have to bother breaking that book open. I know it's bullshit because the woman that fucked Cain never existed. We know that already. So where'd the baby come from? Alright. Cain was then building a city. He, all by himself, building a city. He named it after his son Enoch. Okay, this is just too much, y'all. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of... Here come all the fucked up, hard to pronounce names now. This is to confuse your ass into thinking that trying to keep up with these bloodlines that don't really fucking exist, man. Just like that chick that popped out of nowhere, had sex with Cain and popped out Enoch. You know, we can't put our faith and belief in a book like this. This is crazy shit now. Alright. We should give it a fair chance, okay? Let's go back and read it legitimately so people don't think I'm trying to manipulate the word of the programmed God. So Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant, gave birth to Enoch. Cain was then building a city. Say that's true? I don't think so. He named it after his son. To Enoch was born Irad. Okay? That means Enoch had sex with another woman that came from somewhere, spit out this kid named Irad, and Irad was the father, because he found another woman that didn't exist, and gave birth to a Majichu. I don't know. And this Majichu was the father of Methuselah. I don't know. And Methuselah was the father of Lamech. Alright. Lamech married two women, one named Adal and the other bullshit. Adal gave birth to Jabal, and he was the father of those who live in tents. You mean those brothers that live in California? I've seen them. I've been over there. And now they raise livestock. His brother's name was Jabal, and he was the father of all who played stringed instruments. And where the fuck did they come from? Some more bullshit for us to believe in, my brothers and sisters. These things, the creation, they just pop up out of nowhere, right? Yeah. Okay. One of these one of these relatives forged all kinds of tools out of bronze and iron. How they knew how to do that, I have no idea. Maybe the made-up fallen angels came down and showed them how to to use metals and how to forge and how to do all that fantastic, glorious shit. Alright. I don't know. Lamech said to his wives. How many did he have? I don't know. But we're getting into polygamy here if he's got multiple wives. Although I don't know where they get these names, man. I mean, these names that they created back in the day, you would think that they only had a limited amount of language to fucking choose from. Because these motherfuckers came up with shit you can't even pronounce easy. I don't know. He said, Lamech said to his wives, listen to me, wives of Lamech. I don't know why he would say that. Of course, they know they're the wives of this motherfucker. Hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. Okay, there you go. You got your coding for 777. Hoax code, baby. Damn Masons. Adam made love to his wife again. Of course he did. That's all these guys do. They're making love to these women who don't even exist. And she gave birth to a son named Seth, saying, the program God has granted me another child in place of Abel. Since Cain killed him, Seth has also had a son, and he named him Enosh. At that time, people began to call on the name of this programmed God. Okay, guys. I hope you understand the gist of where I'm coming from with this. Do not put your faith in this Bible, okay? Do not put your faith in the word of the program God they created for us. Believe in natural creation. There's a reason why they have these books out here like this for you to read and program your mind with and pass it down to your children and their children and your friends and family and everyone you run into. You give a Bible thinking it's the word of the true creator of the earth and the animals and humanity. It's not. If you look at all the movies, all the music and the music videos and all the different things in books, and they program us to believe in this God everywhere. Even in sports, you see him praying and giving thanks to this God they program us to believe in. This same one that came from this book, and this book that sounds so ridiculous and so fantastical because it didn't exist. None of this stuff happened. It's garbage. It's garbage. This is how they control us. They have the majority of the population going to their neighborhood churches, cycling the money that they control you with through these churches, because you're giving these churches tithings, 10% from the job that you're enslaved to work act for the money they control you with, and you give it away to these churches that program your mind with bullshit. You give them 10% of your tithing. You tithe them 10% of your income, while there's real brothers and sisters out there starving. There's real families out there that are homeless. I'm talking about families with children, homeless, sleeping in their cars, not knowing where their next meal's coming from or where they're going to lay their head down at night. This is the kind of system that we live in that promotes bad things. And they promote this system we live in, this programmed, sinful system that we live in. Because all their sin is programmed the way they want it to be. The system is set up the way they want it to be. That's why we have homeless. That's why we have hungry. They've stolen the land from us. They've stolen our resources. They force us to work for it, for the money that they enslave us with. It's not right what they're doing to us. We have to start sharing the truth with as many people as we can. It's all about trying to stop living the way they force us to live. Being the people we're naturally meant to be. Staying away from this stuff they program our minds with so we can think clearly and we can be who we're naturally meant to be instead of somebody telling us who to be. Somebody programming us our mind on what's good and what's bad. One thing you have to understand, people, there's no evidence of our true creator, the true creator of this earth and the life on it. There's no evidence of the creator manipulating his creation, or its creation, sorry. I'm programmed to call creator a he. I'm trying my best to break free from their grasp on my mind as well. But we have to start searching for real truth. Getting away from this obvious program bullshit. As we can see, and when we read this, no way in hell would it ever make sense. I don't know why we read it, because the preacher gets us to come to church every Sunday in our Sunday best, smelling good with the makeup on that they programmed you to wear, and the lipstick and the hair products, and they get us to buy our fancy clothes and shoes and perfumes and aftershave and cologne, so you can smell your best and look your best when you're coming to donate money to this program, God, with your tidings and loose change and money you put in the collection plate on top of it. Imagine millions and millions and millions of people just like you doing the same thing. week after week after week after programmed week. They get you to come in on either Saturday or Sunday, or sometimes you're going during the week as well. Maybe 2, 3, 4 times a week going to church, giving them your loose change every time. Man, imagine how much money these guys are getting. And you know what happens to that money? It gets cycled back into the system that programs you and enslaves you with it. And you keep feeding it. Keep feeding it. Your family keeps feeding it. Feeding it. And you'll be happy to feed it because you're singing the hymns, you're feeling the joy, you're feeling the program God's joy and hallelujah. Feel it every time you donate that money to this program God and the people that believe in it. You think you're doing good, and you're just cycling the money they control you with. Because I guarantee you that money is going somewhere and it's getting spent. It doesn't matter if it's the minister spending it, or if it's other church members, or wherever that money winds up. Who knows? Who knows the track of that money? And it doesn't really matter, does it? It just matters that you know the truth. And don't donate to these churches any longer. Starve the system that programs your mind with lies. I love you guys. Take care.